Hey there, Seeker. The conflict between individualism and collectivism runs deep. At the core, there is tension between pursuing individual desires versus collective duties, freedom versus responsibilities, wants versus needs. So today, I want to share some thoughts about this topic that reaches into the heart of the human condition. How to strike a balance between the individual and the collective. This conflict has simmered for centuries, swinging like a pendulum between eras that champion the self and those that prioritize the whole. No extreme serves us well. Unfettered individualism fractures communities and allows selfishness to reign. Yet, coercive collectivism crushes creativity and liberty in the name of conformity. We must find a middle path. But before we start, if you find this video valuable, give it a thumbs up and share it with friends and family. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and turn on notifications, so you never miss an opportunity to explore wisdom, knowledge, and meaningful discussions for personal growth with us. Your support helps us continue to create content that sparks meaningful conversations. And now, let's get into it. Going back to early hunter-gatherer societies, survival depended on collective cooperation and cohesion. The tribe shared resources, childcare duties, and protection as a unit. Individuals who strayed from group norms could threaten the tribe's survival. Ancient civilizations like Egypt, China, and the Aztecs also emphasized collectivism, seen in rigid social hierarchies and state control. The nobility and priests made decisions for the collective, not the individual. But sparks of individualism emerges in the ancient thinkers like Aristotle, who championed human reason, and Socrates, who questioned prevailing groupthink. Later, Enlightenment philosophers like John Locke argued that individuals have natural rights to life, liberty, and private property. The individual, not the collective, was the primary unit of society to them. This shift in thinking aligned with the rise of market economics and capitalism. During the 20th century, individualism gained prominence in America and Western Europe, while Eastern and African cultures retained more collectivist view. For example, many Asian cultures uphold community responsibility and conformity to social harmony. Tensions emerge as extreme individualism leads to selfishness and collectivism can limit personal freedoms and even human rights. Looking ahead, our future likely holds a continued mix of individualist and collectivist tensions. Some predict that climate change, globalization, and technology will require more collectivist solutions. But social media and consumer culture boost individualism. I think the ideal approach integrates the two rather than choosing one over the other. For instance, we can pursue individual passions while considering community impact, or balance personal rights with civic duties. The yin and yang of individualism and collectivism remains intertwined. Perhaps an ethic of cosmopolitan localism will emerge, strengthening local bonds while embracing global diversity. With open dialogue, we can optimize the benefits of both. At first, a few key reasons this conflict is difficult to resolve. Competing value systems. Individualists prioritize values like liberty, independence, self-determination. Collectivists prefer conformity, harmony, interdependence. Reconciling these opposing virtues is challenging. Lack of shared identity. The loss of common values and virtues can lead to weakened social bonds and trust. If individuals don't identify with the broader community, they are less likely to make personal sacrifices for the collective good. Avoiding responsibility. The tendency to pass the buck and avoid taking responsibility exacerbates divisions. If individuals only look out for themselves, communities unravel. Changing social structures. Rural exodus, urbanization, technology and mobility enable more individualism, expanding horizons, but weakening local community ties that breed collectivism and social bonds. This shift adds friction. So how could a society integrate the two? A few ideas. Instill service as an individual virtue. Encourage voluntary service, charity, and contribution, even as people pursue personal goals. Cultivate shared values and identity. Foster social cohesion through exclusive rituals, national narratives, local engagement. Balance rights with duties. When legislating, consider both liberties and responsibilities. Civic education too. Strengthen local communities. Invest in community centers, block events, neighborhood projects to rebuild the local bonds. In essence, you allow individual expressions to flourish while nurturing a shared spirit of cooperative community. With goodwill and creativity, societies can encourage both individualism and collectivism to coexist harmoniously. But it requires actively cultivating the values and structures to make it possible. A challenging yet worthwhile endeavor. How can we encourage individual expression to flourish while nurturing the spirit of cooperative community? First, we must instill service as an individual virtue and moral obligation. Though one may set out to achieve personal goals, let it be with an ethic of generosity, using your talents to lift up others. Second, we must cultivate shared values and identity that bind us in common cause, despite our diversity. This sense of belonging can come through inclusive rituals, national narratives, and local engagement. Third, when establishing laws and norms, we must balance personal rights with civic responsibilities. Freedom is precious, yet true freedom requires duty and sacrifice for the greater good. Finally, we must actively strengthen local communities, the cornerstone of society. Invest in neighborhood projects, community centers, block events. Rebuild the ties that bind. My friends, with open hearts we can forge a society that allows individuals to soar without losing sight of communal needs. This demands empathy, dialogue, responsibility, and relentless love for humanity in all its textures. Our task is to sculpt a future where self-realization and service coexist harmoniously, where the melody of the one harmonizes with the chorus of the many. With vision and grace, we can compose this masterpiece together, but we must begin today. The first strokes of paint, the first notes of the score awaits our hands and voices. Let's begin with a fruitful discussion to find out what are the most common values and needs for all people, regardless of origin. What other aspects could bring us together instead of dividing us? What other problems do you see that stop us from coming together? Could decentralized and self-governed communes that are connected by a hierarchical set of values be a solution for the future? Are overpopulated areas like megacities good for individuals or communities? Or are they just a haven for government control and effective supply? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video valuable or these kinds of topics important, give it a thumbs up and share it with friends and family. But the best gratitude for us would be your subscription. Your support helps us continue to create content that sparks meaningful conversations. We have explored the nuances in the conflict between individualism and collectivism. Neither extreme serves society well. The path forward requires open dialogue, shared values, and balancing personal rights with civic duties. When individual voices harmonize with community chorus, we create our most beautiful music. Thanks for watching. I hope you walk away with new perspectives. Until next time, stay thoughtful, stay engaged, and stay compassionate. Take care, and as always, let wisdom guide your path.